When I was 9, my uncle Marcus died in the most ordinary way possible. He fell from a ladder while fixing a broken stained glass window in the old church downtown. A cracked vertebra. Clean break. They buried him in the churchyard behind the chapel, beneath a crooked oak that never grew leaves on its east side. My family didn't talk much about him after that. He wasn't close with anyone except my mother, and she became quieter after the funeral. She stopped attending Mass, stopped looking at the church at all. But I remember staring out the backseat window each Sunday as we passed it, weathered stone, dark windows, and the crooked oak standing like a frozen sentinel in the graveyard. I always thought I saw something in the steeple window. A shadow. A movement. But when I blinked, it was gone. Years passed. The city changed. The church was condemned, fenced off, scheduled for demolition. That's when the dreams started. Always the same. I was back inside the church, walking slowly down the central aisle. The pews were covered in thick dust. The air smelled like old paper and wet stone. My footsteps echoed unnaturally loud, and always, I heard a breath behind me. Slow, calm, patient. When I turned, there was no one there. But I could feel fingers brushing the back of my neck. I told no one. Not even when the dreams became waking visions. Streetlights flickering as I passed the chapel gates. A warm gust of wind on cold nights. My reflection in windows, smiling when I wasn't. One night, I couldn't resist. I climbed the fence and slipped through a broken side door. The chapel was decayed but intact. Dust motes spun in the moonlight like ash. I walked down the aisle like in the dream, each step slower than the last. And there, at the altar, was the stained glass he'd been repairing. Still broken. A jagged hole like an eye. Below it, something shimmered, fresh candle wax on the floor. Someone had been here. I turned. He was standing in the pulpit. Uncle Marcus. Paler. Taller. Smiling. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. I felt his voice crawl into my mind like smoke. He asked me if I remembered the stories he used to tell. About angels with broken wings. About saints who bled gold. About sin sweet enough to taste. He stepped down. Each movement graceful and deliberate, like a dancer underwater. I couldn't run. My legs wouldn't listen. He cupped my face in his cold hands and whispered a name I didn't recognize, until I realized it was mine. Not the name I go by. The one he used when I was little. No one else remembered it. Then he kissed my forehead. The world tilted. My heart stopped. Started again. He told me the church had been built on hollow ground. That some places rot upward, not down. That I was his favorite. That he had waited. Waited so long. I woke up in my bed. Clothes dirty. Feet muddy. My forehead burned where his lips had touched. Now, I visit every night. The fence is gone. The church never was demolished. No one talks about it. It's like it never existed. But it's still there. And so is he. Waiting. Whispering. Promising. I think I'm becoming like him. My reflection lingers a bit too long now. Strangers glance at me and shiver. I walk with softer steps. I sleep with the windows open. I taste sin like sugar on my tongue. And soon, I think I'll kiss someone too. Just once. Right on the forehead. To see what it awakens.